Alright guys, we're back in the world of Path of Exile 2 or Path of Exile 1, whichever one. We're talking about both. And I have some unfortunate news to deliver to you guys and some good news about Path of Exile 1. Seeing that the delay for Path of Exile 2 actually ended up affecting it. We got some new information about what's going to be happening with Path of Exile 1. Don't want to waste too much time, let's dive right on into this. But check out this post from Grinding Gear Games or Path of Exile's Twitter. Now that we announced a new date of early access for Path of Exile 2, we would like to give an update on the timeline for our next Path of Exile 1 expansion. Find out more in the new post. And going over to the post, Path of Exile 1 has received 2 new expansions this year, with the ongoing Settlers being one of the most successful leagues ever. Despite the delay, launching Path of Exile 2 into early access this year is a very important milestone for us, and we've been working very hard to make it happen. After many days of internal discussion, we made the decision to not launch the 3.26 expansion for Path of Exile 1 this year. We're looking to announce this new league in early 2025. Think late January. However, we have to remain flexible with that window, as releasing an entirely new project can come with challenges that we cannot predict. Two things. First off, Path of Exile was going to be delayed till January. I said this in my last video that I was very curious on how Path of Exile 1 was going to be affected by Path of Exile 2, seeing that that game is going to be releasing in December 6th, Path of Exile 2. Having 1 month after the game coming out, which would be January, doesn't make a lot of sense. You have Path of Exile 2, objectively one of the biggest ARPGs releasing in the next decade coming out. You don't want to overshadow it with a new Path of Exile league. You want to give players the opportunity and time to actually play the game. So which that was going to be the major factor in my opinion, but also it does take a lot of manpower, time, and teamwork to get those expansions out. I did want to go over a comment that I saw in this post though that kind of, I don't know, it kind of bugged me because it felt like entitlement. And I hate when people are super entitled. And this comment read by Daniel Sanderson: I have a sad feeling this is a show of things to come, which is crazy. We went from 4 leagues a year to 3, now down to 2. When PoE 2 was first talked about, we were told that we would be no disruption of PoE 1, starting to question things at GGG at this point. Now for me, this is a prime example of someone being extremely entitled. Let's pretend Grinding Gear Games haven't been pretty consistent for a decade at this point. Let's pretend they're not going to transfer over a mountain of free stuff that you've earned over to Path of Exile 2. Not a single development team I can ever think of would ever do something like that. Let's pretend like they're not going to have a massive new game being released. And let's pretend that it's not November, December, you know, very heavy Christmas months, very holidays where manpower tend to kind of wax a little bit or wane a little bit. And so let's pretend all those factors were not something we consider. This is a very unique situation, right? This is an extreme circumstance. If you guys don't know, I'm a project manager by trade. This is what I used to do before I did YouTube. And whenever we went into projects, we kind of expect projects to not necessarily always be perfect. We set deadlines, we try to meet them, and we tend to do really well, but sometimes things change. And when we're talking about a game of this magnitude and all those factors that we're ignoring, it's not reasonable to expect things to work out perfectly. I think if you're questioning Grinding Gear Games at this point because a delay in a game of a ARPG, a massive ARPG title, I think a 1 month delay is not that crazy for what's happening with this game. So, but yeah, I would like to know you guys' comments. Maybe I'm out of my mind. Maybe I'm just completely out of touch. I feel like this was one of the most entitled comments I've ever seen from the Path of Exile community, which was really bothered me. With that venting out of the way, I did want to continue because we did get some good news, which is actually really nice because they're going to be relaunching Settlers again so we can play it. I'll go over it. To brighten up the wait on November the 7th PST, we're launching a fresh version of Settlers with a little twist that would run in parallel with the ongoing Settlers League. By participating in this event, you'll be able to play the Settlers League in Standard Hardcore, Solo Self-Found, and Solo Self-Found Hardcore with a fresh economy and a ladder reset, which I really like. I actually didn't get to play Settlers on launch because I was playing many other things, but reaching level 50 in any versions of the events, you will earn 1 guaranteed Settlers mystery box per account. The Settlers challenge are also available in the event, so if you are planning to complete them, you will be able to do so. We've edited this to include Solo Self-Found and Hardcore leagues. In the event, monsters in every area are affected by the pool of mobs which would be available to manipulate upon entering the area, just like in Necropolis League. These mods will only be rewarding, like this for example, which I'm going to show on screen now. Oh, you guys know what Necropolis is. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting a full-fledged reset for Settlers. I hear super positive things about Settlers. Again, I didn't play it. I edited a few videos for Karn whenever it launched, and it looked pretty good, but I actually didn't get to experience it. I'm excited to jump in. Let me know what you guys are gonna be doing if you're gonna actually experience this. If you're wondering, there will be no Necropolis crafting. I have no clue what that means because I didn't play Necropolis League. You can't bring your existing character into it, and all platforms can play it. If you're playing PC or on console, you can play it. But yeah, that's pretty much just gonna be all that we're gonna be getting from the 3.26 expansion timeline. I did want to ask you guys a quick question though. If you have time to answer my question in this video, let me know down in the comments what games you're playing this month. Are you gonna just be playing the restart of Settlers, or are you gonna be playing other things? There's a few games on my radar that I was thinking about possibly covering this month. One very specifically was called Stalker 2. I know a lot of people like that game, at least Stalker 1. I was thinking about covering it. Let me know if you guys like to see that on the channel. I was also going to play Once Human. There's like builds and stuff I can make and play some of that stuff, and it's kind of up my alley when it comes to like looter shooter stuff, survival stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about those games, because I do need something to do in the meantime, and I don't stream like the other PoE creators, so most of my money comes from YouTube, just saying. But yeah, let me know what you guys are playing. I'd like to know, make some content for it. But yeah, that's all the bad and all the good news in Path of Exile. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video very soon.